match that'll save boxing and determine which undefeated titan ranks supreme. Ryan Garcia and Gervonta Davis have put their flawless winning streaks on the line with a sworn oath of knocking each other out.
2 rounds, you're going to sleep.
He got dropped by somebody that came ahead.
This exhilarating event will show millions of spectators what happens when an unstoppable force meets another unbeatable fighter. In this video, we're going to take a deep dive into the history of both fighters and explain why this upcoming event is going to be this decade's biggest boxing match. Ryan King Rai Garcia, an American professional boxer born in Victorville, California. Ryan was born with a fighting spirit and wanted to show the world what he was capable of. His father was also a boxer, and Ryan soon followed in his footsteps, taking up the sport when he was just 7 years old. However, his father could not be as successful as Garcia due to several personal issues. During his amateur years in the ring, Ryan's blood was running hot with a passion for boxing. So much so, he became a 15-time national amateur champion and amassed a record of 215 wins to 15 losses.
Entering 2, bout number 6, our winner, out of the red corner representing 5-star boxing, Ryan Garcia.
But that wasn't enough for Ryan, as he wanted to climb the ranks and be in the pro leagues. After extensive training, Ryan's first pro match debuted on June 9th, 2016 against Edgar Meza. With flames in his eyes, Ryan won his first match with a total knockout, and from there, his flawless winning streak would start, knocking out anyone that would come in his way. After 2 years of success, Ryan started to pop off on both YouTube and other social media platforms, garnering millions of followers on Instagram and hundreds of thousands of views on his YouTube channel. In October 2018, he started his training with Eddie Reynoso, who introduced Ryan to Canelo Alvarez, another inspirational pro boxer. The two became close friends and sparred with each other during training. Ryan began making headlines with his unstoppable winning streak, eventually holding the WBC interim lightweight title in 2021. In January of the same year, Ryan saw the highlights of his career in his match against Luke Campbell, where he would last 7 chaotic rounds and win by landing a body shot to Campbell. From there, Ryan preserved his title of King Rai. Many people cheered on Ryan's fighting spirit during the match, saying, "A classic liver shot from Ryan Garcia. This proves how much of a hard worker and a talismanic sportsman he is." Probably Garcia's most important fight to date. He showed true grit and discipline coming back from the knockdown. The match against Campbell was a new breaking point in Ryan's career, making him climb new heights of success. But that would all come to a sudden halt, as in April of the same year, the founder of Golden Boy Promotions tweeted that Ryan withdrew from his upcoming match against Javier Fortuna due to mental health issues. With this, the community responded by showing support for Ryan during his time off. But that wasn't all, as Ryan would withdraw again from another upcoming October match with Joseph Diaz due to a hand injury. This time, the response from the community was different, with many people leaving comments like, "Boy keep coming up with excuse after excuse. He's done. Glass jaw and glass hands." This negative response from the community was not new to Ryan, as throughout his career he's been bashed by hateful comments from people that have labeled him as a wannabe influencer boxer no matter how many times he had won. In response to the hate, Ryan's dad defended his son and tried to resolve the misconception of Ryan.
Well, the most misconception on that would be social media, because they see him so much on the light of social media and they don't see him training. So they're thinking, oh, he's a YouTube boxer. He's this and that. He's always on camera. He's always recording. Well, guess what? He's an entertainer as well as a boxer.
But hate from the community wasn't the end of it, as his close friend, Canelo, himself criticized Ryan in an interview with Complex, saying, "He's wasting a lot of time and wasting his talent. I look at him and don't see him 100% dedicated, and to us, that's a bad signal." After a year-long hiatus, in February 2022, it was announced that Ryan had left Eddie Reynoso to train with Joe Goosen. This sudden departure from the team left a sour taste in Canelo's mouth, who responded by criticizing Ryan for not appreciating Eddie as a trainer. In response, Ryan clapped back and tweeted that Canelo doesn't know what he's talking about, and his former trainer wasn't fully dedicated towards him during training and showed up to matches only a day before. This back and forth between the fighters made many people bash Ryan and take Canelo's side, leaving comments like, "Diva Ryan showing his true colors. I think nobody could take Ryan's side seriously. The kid used every excuse in the book to not fight. His hand, his mental health, his Instagram fast punch videos. After the online feud, it was established there was no bad blood between the fighters and everything was business as usual."
Nah, we're good. You're good. No bad blood, man. Like, I still think he's a great fighter, and I can't hate on him. You know what I mean? He's a great fighter. He does his thing. He works hard too. It's just a situation we're in right now. It's gonna pass. We probably be cool later on. If not, that'll be on him, because I'm ready to be cool right now.
By leaving all the hate behind him, Ryan was back better than ever, maintaining his winning streak and having a record of 23 wins to 0 losses under his belt. With this flawless streak, it was time he challenged an opponent that had the potential to dominate him in the ring. So, on July 16th, 2022, after his win against Javier Fortuna, Ryan called out Gervonta "Tank" Davis for a match.
But I will fight Tank next. If Tank wants that at 140, I'm gonna record all the negotiations so you guys don't make no headlines saying I'm ducking. If he want it, let's get it.
But who is Tank?
I'm the top dog.
Gervonta "Tank" Davis is another American professional boxer born in Sandtown, Winchester, Baltimore. Unlike Garcia, Gervonta's childhood was harsh and full of hardship, as Sandtown, Winchester happens to be one of Baltimore's most crime-ridden areas. So an easy life was not in the cards for Gervonta, as reports of gang violence were common in the area, and Gervonta himself would be part of street fights with the neighborhood kids.
We was the new kids on the block. I was fighting a lot, fighting at school, fighting on the block,
No matter what age they were, all that rage and hate inside young Gervonta was put to good use by his uncle, who bought boxing equipment and introduced Gervonta to Calvin Ford as his trainer. From there, Gervonta's new boxing journey began. During his amateur years, he won many national championships like the 2012 National Golden Gloves, National Silver Gloves, and 2 ringside world championships, among many more. Gervonta developed a passion for boxing from a very young age and started to turn his past negative energy into something positive.
I caught on early because I think because me winning so many tournaments and me traveling, my mindset was bigger than the average, person that was a kid that was coming up in Baltimore City. So I seen a lot of things. I seen like going to different cities. I used to love the fly, to go to different cities to fight and things like that, and I seen the bigger picture.
Gervonta finished his illustrious amateur career with an impressive record of 206 wins to 15 losses. Later on, he stepped into the big leagues and started his professional career in February of 2013, where he won his first match against Daisy Williams by knockout. Gervonta's own winning streak started and he began to make a name for himself in the pro league. In early 2017, young Gervonta impressed Floyd Mayweather during a sparring session and was signed into his promotion company, and from there, Gervonta became an unbeatable fighting machine that won most of his fights by knockouts and gave his opponents a reason to fear him. His fury in the ring held no bounds, as he would go on to achieve 3 world championship titles like IBF Super Featherweight 2017, WBA Lightweight 2019, and WBA Super Lightweight 2021, eventually holding a record of 28 wins to 0 losses. But like all good things, the partnership between Gervonta and Floyd seemed to be coming to an end. In November of 2022, the relationship between Gervonta and Floyd started to fall apart. Gervonta tweeted out a response accusing Floyd of wanting him to lose a fight. From this response, the community began speculating why would Gervonta accuse Floyd like that? People leaving comments like, Floyd only cared about how much money you could make him. Later in December of the same year, it was announced that Gervonta left Floyd's team and started to branch out on his own. But, unlike the accusations, the response was completely different, as Floyd mentioned that Gervonta left because he wanted to be his own boss and wished him the best of luck.
He's grew wings where he can fly, become his own boss. More power to him.
But unlike Gervonta's winning streak, his criminal record is far from flawless. During his boxing career, Gervonta has been charged with multiple aggravated assaults, 2 counts of domestic violence, reckless driving and endangerment. The list goes on. However, in February 2020, during a baseball game at Watsco Center, Gervonta was seen grabbing his ex-girlfriend's shirt with his right hand close to her throat and dragged her to a separate room. After the incident, Davis was arrested on charges of domestic violence against his former girlfriend, and in December 2022, Gervonta was again charged on domestic violence against his now wife and arrested after police saw signs of bruising on the victim's face. But the victim walked back on her claims, stating that calling the police was unnecessary and her relationship with Gervonta is fragile. By looking at the history of both fighters and how far they've come, we ask the questions: is this the mega fight that will put boxing back on the map? And do these two fighters have genuine beef with each other? Or is it just for publicity? Ever since Ryan Garcia's call-out, Gervonta Davis tweeted April 22, 2023 as the official date of the fight, but since that response, things have been getting intense between these two. Both contenders have the boxing community debating about who will be the better boxer. Even Canelo's getting in on the action and taking Gervonta's side, saying he is more experienced than Ryan. Talk about pouring salt on the wound.
Garcia or Davis?
I think Davis has more experience, but it's gonna be a good fight.
The two fighters have been seen calling each other out on social media and even came close to having a physical altercation in a public setting, as in September of 2022, a video went viral of Ryan and Gervonta arguing with each other at a club, with Gervonta mocking Ryan on Instagram with a caption, "Can we be friends?" After this response, Ryan shared his side of the story, saying that Gervonta was disrespectful and dragged his chain.
And then he grabbed my chain, but I wasn't worried about it. You know, there's so many security guards there. I knew he wasn't gonna take my chain or do anything really. He just wanted to seem tough.
Even after the incident, the two titans have been mocking each other constantly on social media. At the time of this video, the two fighters have had 2 press conferences, one in New York and the other in Los Angeles. The LA press conference was particularly tense and more dramatic, in comparison to their more respectful New York press conference held the day before. The two fighters have had a long-standing rivalry, and their verbal sparring during the press conference made it clear that their upcoming fight will be intense. Ryan spoke about his training and preparation and took jabs at Davis's previous opponents, implying that they were not on the same level as him, getting Davis pretty heated, as we can tell.
And you couldn't knock out Cruz, who was what? Smaller than small. You couldn't do a lot of things. You couldn't do. You were losing to Barrios, were you not? Were you not losing to Barrios? Were you not? Okay, so he won. So it was close. You see how I'm not even worried about it.
Davis made a few jabs of his own, indicating that he is not intimidated by Garcia and is fully prepared to face him in the ring, even mocking Ryan's fashion style before Garcia came back with a left hook of his own.
I got heels on, okay. And you had a purse on yesterday, shut up. Okay, come on now. Yeah, you got one on now. Come on, man.
Not only are both contenders bringing their fighting spirits into the ring, but they are bringing their massive fan following with them as well, which has been termed as a saving grace for boxing as a whole, with Stefan Espinoza, president of Showtime Sports, saying, "If we go by the unofficial indicators like ticket requests, we're off to a really hot start. I've been flooded with requests from celebrities, athletes, and everyone else since the fight was announced." With both contenders fighting for their reputation as the undefeated king of boxing, all this hype has dubbed this upcoming event as the mega match. That'll put an end to this year-long debate of who is the better boxer and who will hit the canvas.